I was surprised at the breakfast. Very good. I mean, a lot of selection, big buffet, packed with people. This hotel obviously caters to what I would call business travelers. There's a lot of factories in the area, things like that. So that's why they have a good breakfast. Brings the people in, I guess. It's a nice place. We had a good night's sleep and big breakfast. Nice big breakfast. So time for another day. It's about 7:30. We're gonna hit the road. Same time we did yesterday. Hey folks, and welcome back to the trip. We are still traveling and touring rural Thailand today. This is the third of 3 episodes, so there was 2 before this. But we are in the Pluak Daeng area of Rayong, and it's known for reservoirs, agriculture, things like that. We've been looking around. We're out again this morning. This is day 2 of the trip here. We just woke up and hit the trail. We found some cows out here, but I found a road and it goes somewhere down here. We'll see where this road goes, but let's go back to where we left off at the last episode. And we had checked into our hotel for the night, and we were just getting ready to go out to dinner and have a little bit of an evening. So let's go back there, and then we'll pick back up here in a minute. So it's about 6. We're gonna go out and see what we can find. Hungry. There's some things right around here. I don't think we got to go far. We might just walk. So I guess it was our lucky day. Just literally right around the corner, maybe 300-400 meters from our hotel, there was this place. It's called Nung Len Bar and Restaurant. And it looks like they've got a really nice menu here. We'll order up some food and drink. They're going to have a band, so there's live entertainment here in a little bit. So we're gonna have a little bit of an evening here. So yes, wonderful evening here. I describe this as kind of like a bar restaurant with hostesses. They usually have very attractive young ladies for your hostess to keep pouring your drink all night, adding ice, and they're kind of like a waitress as well. And they usually have live entertainment. We used to always go to places like this in Bang Sen along the beach. They have probably, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of them all together. Here though, I'll say our bill was probably half of what it would have been at a comparable place, the same sort of place in Bang Sen. So we were pleasantly surprised by that. But let's go back to our little road we found this morning, and here's where it ends. Ends back here, a little bit of a peninsula, a little bit of a finger here that juts out into the lake. There's a couple guys out here, so we'll turn around and see what they're doing. So the guy let a net soak overnight and then come out in the morning and pull it up, try to get some small fish. This is like one of the little, I don't know, little coves off of the main reservoir. Also, they got a lot of snails. I don't know, maybe they have a lot of snails in here. I don't know if they forage for those or what. But it looks like kind of dirty work. And not having many fish. Didn't have many fish in the net this morning. So we're on the way to find the motocross track. I just thought I'd see what was down this road. So yeah, it's a motocross track. It doesn't look like it's been used for a while, but you've got some jumpity jumps, some highly banked turns. I'll cruise around at one time real quick. I don't really have gear on, so I'm not going to go out here and do it for real, but it is right out here. It's kind of on a peninsula.
We're surrounded by water. It's a peninsula that juts out here, and they've got a motocross track here. Darndest thing. And it looks to be halfway decent and fun. So.
I actually found a second motocross track not far from the first one, but it didn't look as nice. So I guess after all that, we were ready for a little cool down in the shade.
So probably the biggest thing out here are these rubber tree plantations. Just acre after acre of rubber trees. The rubber tree apparently is not indigenous to Thailand. I believe the first one was planted around 1900, and now they're everywhere. In fact, Thailand is arguably the leading producer of latex rubber, or maybe tied with Indonesia. They're your two big ones. Most, I think about 90% of the rubber here is exported. Makes things like rubber gloves, condoms, tires, anything made out of latex rubber. The trees take 7 years to grow. So 7 years before they can be tapped, I should say. And then they produce for like 30 years. So a lot of times what you'll see is some of these that are getting old now, they strip them, they strip the land, they sell the lumber, use the wood, and then they might grow something else. Depends on the price of the rubber. Rubber price is down. They might grow pineapples, they might grow something else, or they might replant rubber trees. And they're nice and cool areas back here because it's all shade. The rubber trees basically block out the sun, and very little grows in there. You can see over here, it's just all brown leaves because there's no sunlight, but it means it's cool. So it's a nice cool place to stop when you're out riding around back here. But it's also a little eerie back there. It looks almost like a dead forest. The trees only have leaves at the top, and you just look across here and just see a bunch of trunks of trees, but nice and cool.
So I'll quickly share with you a reoccurring problem I had on this trip, and I'll illustrate it right here.
So my GPS, part of the route was this road. That's the road my GPS sent me down, right here, where that truck is. I could maybe get around them, but there's a much better road going around. It's just a couple 100 meters longer. That's what I'm up against. I've used the GPS because it's just so rural back here, but that's what I get all day, stuff like that.
So as we've rode around in this area for the last couple days on this trip, we periodically would stop and see like brand new subdivisions being built. Kind of like this here. It looks like they're just building the first couple houses here, but it looks like it's going to be a whole subdivision or neighborhood. And curiosity got the best of me. I thought, let's stop and just see how much something like this cost. I'm just curious. I'm not necessarily a proponent of buying anything here, but that's catered to each and every individual's individual circumstances. And some people, it's the right thing, the right move, and they're interested in it. So I'll stop and we'll just get a price here. But I would think that this rural area would be one of the more affordable places. Land should be a little cheaper, maybe the labor, maybe some of the materials. I don't know. We'll stop. But we are right by a lake as well. We're really just a couple minutes down the road from the shores of that big lake. So I would think that maybe adds a little bit of value, but they seem hard at work here, and I don't want to bother them too much. And none of the houses are completed enough to really go through and give you an idea what the insides would look at. So we'll just ask a couple quick questions, and I'll let you know what we find out.
So the typical house here that they're building, just as an example, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a kitchen, living room. 1.3 million, so about 40,000 US right now while they're building them. That'll go up, but I don't know, 40,000 for a little house, a decent sized house, kind of an average Thai house. But show you some pictures what they're supposed to look like. It's a nice little subdivision they're building here. The lake is just right down the road. Pattaya, 40-45 minutes away. But everything out here is a little cheaper. Like the restaurant place we went last night with the band and everything, half price from the same exact type of place where I used to go in Bang Sen, for example. I think pretty much everything out here is going to be much cheaper. Plus, I think you can get the produce pretty cheap because they grow it all out here. So pretty cheap cost of living out here. 45 minutes from Pattaya, 40 grand for a brand new home. I would imagine you could probably rent one for 10-12,000 a month once they're built. I don't know, but just thought I'd stop and check it out. Looks like they're building them pretty decent. Steel beams for the roof and everything. So, all right, we're gonna continue. So when you're out here, a little bit in the sticks, this is what a gas station looks like. We'll take on some gas.
So yeah, these private type cash operated gas pumps, as I call them, they're not generally exclusive to rural areas. You can find them in populated areas. I've seen them in Pattaya, Jomtien, all over the place. But it's one of your options. The big commercial gas stations being another option, and of course, you can generally find somebody selling gasoline out of old whiskey bottles for 25 or 30 baht. So those would be your three choices.
Job done. 2 full tanks. We could have got gas in town this morning. I wasn't thinking about it, and we could probably make it back, but I just thought we'd stop here. Little country gas station. They're still at work building more reservoirs out here, and this is one. Huge construction project. It's kind of weird because they've dug all around and left one little path out to this little island behind me. Everything else is dug out. It's kind of cool, but that's what it's going to be. More reservoir, more water. Looks like fun digging in the dirt. V dumped her bike coming down here. Just barely at a move, less than 1 mile per hour. She just tipped over. No harm done. No harm done. Okay, Mai? Okay, Mai?
Okay. Iba ni bruto.
So yeah, probably the #1 way people dump their bikes, what V just did there. I've seen it numerous times, usually with people with big bikes, but I've even seen it with people on their first day with a brand new big bike. But anyway, when you have your handlebars turned and you're at low speed, you gotta stay off that front brake. You gotta use the back brake. If you engage the front brake, whatever way the handlebars are turned, that's what way you're going over.
Cruising down the road, I saw some bikes for sale or something. I'm just going to stop, check it out. Look kind of interesting.
But yeah, she's got about 4 motorbikes out here, all the same kind of type, small cruiser bike. Most of them have storage bins or side pannier bags, whatever, and they all look to be in good shape. A couple of them had current registrations. All of them, 35,000 each. So there you go. It's not often you see this many in one place.
So I just give you a quick look at them. She's got 3 Phantoms, 3 Honda Phantoms, and 1 Kawasaki Boss. I don't know that I've ever seen one of those here. Pretty rare bike. That's a 175. Phantoms are 200s. She doesn't have any Steed 400s. That's, I think, the preferable one, but they're more rare. But anyway, 35,000 each. The one on the end, the gray one, looked the best. It's only showing 11,000 kilometers. I don't know if it's been around once, but it sure doesn't look like it. The other ones are showing like 75, 80. But if you like a bike like that, the small compact cruiser style bike, she's got 4 of them sitting right here. You could probably make a deal on one. Beats going around because usually shops will only have 1, if that. they have one to pick from. She's got 4. I saw her cruising down the road out of the corner of my eye, and I didn't know what they were. I just turned around and came back. Very nice lady and her husband here. They have a little store. They even sell a Thai whiskey. But anyway, we got V patched up and we're gonna hit the road. So we're back. We'll get the bikes washed up here. We're almost back in town. Grab something to eat. Well, we had a good trip. It was a good day and a half out there, wandering around. No particular place to go. I would go back out again just to look around. It's fun riding around those lakes. You never know what you see. So if you want somewhere different to go, change of scenery, 45 minutes away, we're gonna get something to eat. Hope you enjoyed it.
So there you go, little look at the road to nowhere, touring rural Thailand. We had a great time out there. If anybody is curious, I will go ahead and put the location of that little bike shop. It's just a little roadside store that happens to have several motorbikes for sale. Never know if somebody is looking for one of those and wants to know where that place is. I will put the location in the description below. It's not far out of Pattaya, maybe 25 minutes, something like that. But we're gonna get some. This guy's got like boat noodles here, kind of like what we had in Ayutthaya, real small portions, so you have to get 2 or 3 bowls each. But we're gonna go ahead and dig into that while they clean up the bikes, and we'll get ready for our next adventure. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.